Even as someone who liked Batman v Superman, even I could tell you it had problems. So, instead of just complaining about what was bad about the movie, I thought of ways the whole thing could have been made better. So, in this video, I will present to you 8 amateur ways, or amateur ideas, Batman v Superman could have been made better. So, let's get started. Number 1. Replace Henry Cavill. Or fix his directing. Or fix the writing of Superman. Physically, he is a good choice. He has the build, the face, the hair. I love Man of Steel, and I think Henry Cavill was a decent coming-of-age Superman. His naive behavior worked because he was still learning to be the hero that stands for truth, justice, and the American way. I guess you could say that he's still learning to cope with becoming a symbol, but at some point you want to see some character development. Okay, so he's doing research on the Bat Vigilante. He arrives at the Senate, but I believe that's it. The rest is just action. Badass action, but I think we wanted more. Henry Cavill always has this frown on his face that he had since Man of Steel, but it's only just now starting to bother me. I can't relate to the hero we're supposed to relate to on an emotional level if you won't even tell us what you're feeling. Besides anger, Henry Cavill does it pretty well. I don't know if this was the fault of writing, directing, or acting, but I believe it needed some fixing. Number 2. Let us care about Superman's relationships. Particularly those with Lois Lane and Martha Kent. These were the 2 people Jesse cut so he could get him to fight the Bat. So it would have been great if the relationships were more believable. Most people agree that Lois was already useless in the movie, so why not just make her a damsel in distress that we care about? Let him go on dates, let Lois support Clark with what he does, hold his hand, caress his face, all the things couples do to get a stronger bond. Not just jump into a bathtub together. Next is Martha. There was an already beautiful scene with Clark and his mom where she tells him that he can do whatever he wants to do. Do it or not do it because he doesn't owe anyone anything. Diana Lane is one of the only actresses in this movie that actually feels like a person, so using more of her wouldn't be that bad. And this whole Martha and Lois thing should have been done smart. Like, the movie kinda hints that Lois is Superman's number 1, and then when it hits you that Martha's also kidnapped, you realize that it might even be just as bad or even worse than Lois. I know that's probably what they already were trying to go for, but yeah, like a lot of the things, it didn't deliver as well. Let's take another movie for example. If Gwen in The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was kidnapped to be saved by Peter, and then Peter realized his aunt was kidnapped as well, it would have worked better than it did in Batman v Superman. Because even though The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was not received well by most, Peter's relationships were strong elements of the movie. Number 3. Make the plot simpler. Like a lot of people have said, Batman v Superman can be seen as a lot of storylines put into one. There's the part about society accepting Superman, the return of Batman part, the Batman v Superman part, the Batman and Superman kinda have different ideologies part, the Dawn of Justice part. Just the Superman being accepted by society would have been perfect plot for a great Man of Steel sequel. And there are 2 parts in the movie that tell me so. First is the montage that showed how people were reacting to Superman, and the second was Jesse Eisenberg blowing up the Senate. That explosion really had me at the edge of my seat. Not just because of the Grandma Peach Tea moment, but it shows how far Jesse was willing to go to get what he wants. So yeah, do that. The whole Batman v Superman could have waited. The Dawn of Justice Part 2. Batman could have been introduced in this movie, but he shouldn't have been the center of the attention. They could have fought a little bit, but not let it be the epic battle it presented itself to be. Just let them throw a few punches, small fight of like 5 minutes. Number 4. Start using Jesse Eisenberg's real name. Too bad they were referring to this character as Lex Luthor the whole time. Unlike most people, I actually like this character as a villain, and this scene explains his motives very well. First off, he's insane, and he acts based on a certain philosophy that God cannot be all good and all powerful. And with Superman being the closest thing he knows to as a god, and with his godlike power, deserve the same judgment. So, Superman cannot be all good, so he's probably evil. I also get the sense that he likes challenging and outsmarting godlike creatures just for the rush of it, which would explain why he wanted it to be Batman vs Superman. He's just not Lex Luthor. These two are very different, so I'm just gonna refer to this guy as Jesse from now on. Number 5. Change the Senate explosion scene. You know what was a great plot turn? The Senate blowing up. You know what was not as good? The follow-up. First we get one of these frown faces from Superman. I mean, really, it looks like he just heard his girlfriend broke up with him. Which is bad, but just not as bad as everyone around me just died and I was trying to make it better. And the consequences aren't that massive either. Superman runs away, to come back again. Batman decides to fight, and society doesn't really show what it thinks of the Son of L. No, this scene could have been made even more wonderful. First off, there needed to be a build-up. Have Superman in a corner with society's acceptance. Which the movie kinda did, but we didn't see it eat at Superman. So, show more of that. Then, let him be at the brink of giving it all up, and at the last moment deciding to go to court. Then the bomb explodes. And let's put some extra cheese to that scene, shall we? Let us see it from Superman's perspective. Let it all go in slow motion as he watches as these people get incinerated, as he stands there helpless to save them. That would have been a broken Superman, and one that really just runs away. And just have society be even more angry at Superman, and eventually that broken man will be built up to be the Superman we know and love. Number 6. Let Superman care about life. Man of Steel already gave a golden opportunity as to why Superman would hold life dear from now on. But Superman doesn't really seem to be doing as much till now. I mean, I'm not sure if this guy survived his impact, but you know, benefit of the doubt. But anyway, they decided to put Doomsday in this movie. The original Doomsday has a very dark backstory, of babies being cloned and killed till the ultimate killer was created. If the movie would have gone with this backstory, and with Superman holding life dear, it could have served as a good internal struggle for the Man of Steel. Feeling sympathy for the beast, but also wanting to stop its destruction. Maybe the Batman v Superman fight could have been caused because of this argument. Number 7. Change the Martha reveal. The Martha thing was actually not that bad of an idea. It was just delivered very poorly. It shouldn't have been something he gets to know at the end of the fight and then decides to change his actions. Let it be something he learns beforehand and giving him early mixed feelings. Batman is the greatest detective after all, so him figuring out who Superman is shouldn't be that impossible or unbelievable. And number 8, change the Batman vs Superman fight. Once again, a point I have a lot to say about, so I will do that in my next video. It will be an analysis of the whole fight and why it didn't work as well for me. Well guys, those are the ways, my amateur ideas of making Batman v Superman better. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you agree or disagree, feel free to say so in the comment section below, and I will see you next video. Bye!